I don't know where to start. It's a terrible thing to have to say. I have so many harps, I don't know which one to introduce first. We'll go with the smallest. This is William. William is a 15-string harp from Thomond, and my Northern Irish friends and family will understand the joke that I was given William by a Dutch woman on the 11th of July, and he's painted orange, so he had to be called William. This is what he sounds like. It looks a little bit like a toy. It does sound a little bit like a toy, but comes with a nifty little strap, so I can carry him around. And I'm planning on taking William on some trips around the country with me, because I reckon I can probably climb a mountain carrying this thing, because it weighs almost nothing. Don't ask me what it's made of. Wood. That's all I got. This is Eileen. Eileen is my oldest harp. She's 13 years old. She came from Canada, from a company that no longer makes this size of harp, unfortunately, because so many people ask me if they can get one. She's got 16 strings, nylon strung, and she's made of walnut. And this is the first harp that I got, and she's my busking harp, and this is what she sounds like. Fun fact about Eileen, she's actually tuned wrong. When I got her, I just assumed that the bottom string was a C. So I started there and tuned C up. Then much later, actually years later, I learned that the C string is always the red string on a harp. So if you imagine playing a piano and all the white and black keys are all shuffled up, that's what it's like for anyone who plays a normal harp to pick this harp up and try and play it. And then when I got a new harp, I had to completely relearn how to play the instrument. So it pays to do just a tiny bit of research when you start. Next up is Dandelion. Dandelion is a 26-string Callan harp. So these are made by Brian Callan from Galway. He's an Irish harp maker, and I've actually had 3 harps from him over the years. One of them I sold on, but he just makes excellent student harps and made me a beautiful harp that we will talk about later. I honestly don't remember what the wood is. This harp was purchased as a rental harp for students, so I actually don't play her very often, but she's lovely and lightweight, and she's got quite a big sound. Considering she's got a tiny, tiny little sound box. Very slim. Ugh. Oh my god, this one's not slim or lightweight. This is Roisin. Roisin is very, very special. This harp was made for me 10 years ago by Brian Callan, and she's a custom built. She's made of Irish bog oak that's been carbon dated at 6,000 years old. She's completely unique, and I will part with her for absolutely nothing. I've had offers. It's not happening. She's 26 strings, just nylon strung, and big wide sound bass. And although it was originally designed to be a loud harp, because I wanted a harp to play in sessions, she actually came out sounding quite quiet, but lovely and clear. That is all of the harps I have here. I have one more harp. I have a big harp, a big full size, called Ben, who is currently living with a student, and he has 32 strings, although he's currently missing 4 of them because they keep snapping. And I bought him from a friend in Cork who had bought it out of the window of a shop where the poor thing had been sat in the sunshine, and I'm fairly sure some of the wood is warped. I have no idea where it came from. I have no idea what wood it's made of. I have no idea what brand it is. I don't even know the string gauge on most of them, but I took him in like a lost puppy, and yeah, mostly rent him out to students who want to try the bigger harps, because harps are so expensive and they're a big commitment. So he tends to live in other people's houses because my house isn't big enough. So when I'm out playing music and I'm busking, I get asked a lot of questions. And I actually get asked the same questions over and over again, to the point where I have considered making little flashcards for people that I can just hand them to them. So I'm going to answer some of the most common questions now.
Is that a harp?
Yes, this is a harp. People actually come up to me all the time, and that is their opener. Is that a harp? I personally don't fully understand this, because it is on every piece of government paperwork, it's on our passports, it's on every pint of Guinness, and I feel it's a fairly recognisable symbol. I mean, it's on every Ryanair plane as well. But yes, this is a harp, even though it's small.
What kind of harp is that?
That's harder to answer. So there are a couple of kinds of harp and harp names for the same kind of harp. You get pedal harps and lever harps. These are all lever harps. But they are also neoclassical Celtic harps, Irish harps, lap harps, and therapy harps. All those things mean the same thing. But depending on who you're talking to, what country they're from, and what harps they've been exposed to, they will expect a different answer. And what most people want to hear is, that is an Irish harp. But there is not really one type of Irish harp. So I usually go with lap harp and lever harp, because does what it says on the tin.
Is the harp difficult to play?
Every instrument is difficult to play at the beginning. I actually don't think the harp is any more difficult than any other instrument. I personally have struggled in vain with the violin, and I picked up the harp, and it was just so simple, because the joy of a harp is, once it's tuned, it just sounds great. It's really hard to make it sound bad if it's tuned, whereas it's very, very easy to make a lot of other instruments sound terrible. So, no, it's not particularly hard. It is possibly harder than a triangle. I'll give you that much.
Where can I get one?
There are lots of places that you can buy a harp. So this one came from a place called Stony End. They're based in Canada. This one came from Thomann, which most musicians will know. It's an excellent German site, and they sell all sorts of instruments. These ones were handmade in Ireland by one of our Irish craftspeople, harp makers, Brian Callan. There's a maker in Cork, Kevin Harrington, who makes excellent harps. There's a place called Killarney Harps. You can buy them from France, you can buy them from Cammack. There are lots of distributory shops. There's one in Dublin, there's one in Blessington. They're actually everywhere. Buying a good one is a little bit trickier, but most reputable music shops will sell you a harp.
Why did you pick the harp?
People always want me to say that I picked the harp because I was just so in love with harp music. I loved the instrument, I felt called to it, I started when I was a child. None of this is true. I wanted an instrument for my 18th birthday, and what I really, really wanted more than anything was a banjo. And my mum would not have one in the house because she didn't want to have to listen to me learning how to play it. So my second choice was a violin, and that was vetoed for the same reason. And her exact words were, pick an instrument that will sound nice even while you're learning to play. So I picked the harp because I figured it would be pretty hard to make it sound bad, and I was correct. And that's how I ended up here. I picked this one. It was my 18th birthday present, and I always intended to go and play the banjo and the violin, and I have actually learned how to play them and pick them up. But once I got started on harps, it's like Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop. And now I have 5 of them. A totally normal number of harps. Harps.